me. I got a mess going on here. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gamer Science Podcast. My name is John Meadows. With me as always is Nathaniel and Robert. Eric's on boys weekend or something. I don't know. He was posting something about golf and outdoorsy stuff. I don't know.
Boys weekend, all right.
That's what he said. If you follow him on Instagram,
Go get him, Eric.
it was something on Insta. It was something about boys weekend or something like that. I always thought they called those man treats or something. Boys just didn't sound right. That's all.
Is that the name of tonight's episode? Mantreat.
Oh man, yep, man, that didn't take long at all. Let me write that down before I forget it. Yeah, usually it takes at least 15 minutes to come up with the title, but man treat.
Man treat sounds like the alternative to dog treats.
It really does, doesn't it? Or it's treats for men, like dog treats. It's like when you come in and mow the grass and you do a good job, your wife gives you a man treat.
Have a man treat.
Sit.
No, you can't have another one.
Well, it doesn't get any better than that, folks. We're done for the night.
Yep. See you later. Oh, but anyway, yeah, man treat. That didn't take long at all. So, yeah, finished, done, good. Yes. But anyway, let's talk about some games. What we've been playing. Robert, I want to know about Injustice 2, because I like the first Injustice game.
Yeah.
I haven't played the second one yet, but I heard good things about it.
So I didn't get crazy in with the first one or really the second one. I played through the story of the first one, and that was it, and that's all I needed out of it.
Yeah, that's all I did.
I really loved the story. I really loved the gameplay. I actually preferred it to Mortal Kombat this time around, just because I thought Mortal Kombat got a little overly complicated. Still a fantastic game, though. So I hopped in with Injustice 2, and I just finished it. It didn't stick with me as much as the first one did, at least story-wise. It's still really good, and there are times when it's better than watching any animated, Justice League show or movie. They still didn't fix Wonder Woman's face. She still looks a little janky, but it's better than the first time around. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, the gameplay is just as good as ever. I haven't done any of the customization or done any of the extras. I just played through the story. Yeah. It was a good length, probably around maybe around 8 hours, I'd say. For a fighting game, though, it's not bad at all.
No, that's about what the other one was. Was it like 5 or 6, something like that?
Yeah, no, it was around the same length. Yeah. The story just kind of, I don't know. And in the first one, you were jumping universes, and it was cool that way. Yeah. This one, it stays all in one universe, and it doesn't really talk about the other guys at all, the other universe, which is fine. So you're just following the alternate universe where Superman is still evil.
I wonder if it's one of those things where it's tied to the comic book series. They did the Injustice comic books, but they didn't. The story was kind of like, here's the game, and then this is what it kind of filled in little gaps, and then kept going. I mean, it ended up being a long series. So
yeah, it does. It absolutely follows the comic books, from what I understand. I haven't read the comic books, but I know people who do. Yeah, it's good. The gameplay feels very similar. They've introduced a lot of new characters. They got Swamp Thing in there now, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't remember in the first game if they let you, as you're going down the storyline, they'll have you choose between 1 or 2 characters, and you'll play their side of a certain scenario, which can kind of alter it. And as I finished the game, I found out that there is an extended ending to the game where I would have to go through and play all the other storylines that I didn't do the first time. So it does have branching-ish storylines at all. It comes out to the same thing.
I don't remember it having that in the other one. I just remember bouncing between different characters. Like
right.
Start
I thought
out as Batman.
You were like, you're going to play as this guy.
Yeah, and then you'd go, okay, well the Batman story's over, and now it goes to Wonder Woman, and you play her for a few rounds, and then it goes back to somebody else. But that's what I remembered of it anyway.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was remembering too. So I guess we're on the same page.
Yeah,
there.
I would say that's probably right.
There will be times in the story where like if Batman and Superman are together for a scenario, they'll be like, oh, we need to fight these 2 guys. Oh, I'll take this guy, or you'll take that guy, and then you'll play through their one scenario while the cutscene will end, and then you'll see the other guy, finish up his opponent.
Yeah,
but it's more of the same, really. It's still really, really good. It's worth playing. I don't know if it's worth buying if you're not huge into fighting games. There's a lot of stuff in there, and all my fighting game friends love it for all that, but that's not me. So
and
take that with a grain of salt.
I'm interested in playing it for the story, but I don't think I'm interested in investing $60 in it for just an 8-hour story, and that's it.
I wouldn't.
It's kind of like Call of Duty. I really want to play, the campaign of the new Call of Duty when it comes out, but I don't think I'm going to invest $60 in it just to play a 6 to 8 hour campaign. That's what I'm assuming it is. They always are. So I just don't think it's worth it. And I don't know if that one's available on Redbox or not. If it was available on Redbox, I might.
Right now, I doubt it. Maybe when it first came out.
I don't know. I have to check the Redbox thing. But anyway, yeah, I don't think it would be one that I would invest. I didn't buy the first one.
Just go get it pre-owned from GameStop and then return it.
Well, that's true. Could do that.
You can beat that in a day or two.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. What I did last time was I think I got it like on a super cheap sale or something like that, or I may have got it from the PlayStation.
They gave it free after some point, but I remember buying it on the PS4 when it was super cheap.
Yeah, I think I only paid
$20 or something.
Yeah, $20 or $10 or something. I didn't pay much for it. I remember that. But I did enjoy it. I did like it. I'm trying to find my Redbox app so I can see. See if it's on there.
It's definitely worth playing through. I'll play through the third one if there's a third one.
Oh yeah, I would play.
I'm really enjoying the stories for them. I did have to break it up in chunks. The first time I think I played through it in 2 sittings. Yeah. This time it took me maybe 3 or 4 sittings. I just got a little tired of grinding through the fights, especially since I wasn't spending time really learning the combat. It took me until probably 3/4 of the way through the game to be comfortable with the different characters they were making me play as.
Yeah.
Since not all of them have my fighting style.
And it is not on Redbox, and it doesn't look like it's ever been on Redbox. So much for that.
All right.
All right. Well, that answers that question. All right, then. So, but yeah, cool. I'm glad. I mean, I heard really good things in reviews and stuff like that, but I wasn't real sure. Nobody that I knew had actually bought it to play. So, but I figured it was pretty good. I hear rumors. I read a rumor that they're talking about maybe bringing it to the Switch.
I haven't heard that.
Which that'd be interesting.
It could run on the Switch. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I just worry about if it turns into a NBA 2K where it's like 37 gigs to download. However much it is.
I don't know if I'd want to beat on my Switch Joy-Cons that much.
I don't think I would either. I think that would get really crampy really fast in handheld mode, but I'm not that good at fighting games anymore anyway, so it's probably going to be more kick, punch.
I remember in the first one, if you started doing poorly, the game adjusted its difficulty right off the bat. I don't think this one does that, because there were some really tough fights.
Yeah.
And I was like 5, 6, 7 matches deep, and they were still kicking my butt until finally I got lucky.
See, that would be probably one of the ones I'd kick it down to easy just to play the story and be like, I'm done. Yeah. Some games
Spoilers,
I just enjoy.
Brainiac is really hard. He'll have a combo that knocks out like 3/4 of your health in one go.
But in there, every fighting game has a big boss.
Sure.
That has that. So.
Sure.
But what else? Muscle relaxers, people. It makes your tongue loose too, and your lips not work right. So
I've also been playing a little bit of the Solus project.
Yeah,
I'm going to be putting quite a bit more time into this one. It's a VR compatible, 100% all the way through game. Not required though. So far, I've only been playing out of VR. I wanted to get a feel for the game first before I dove in.
Yeah.
I was looking through the settings, and I'm not actually sure how it detects the VR, because it doesn't have like, switch over to VR mode. I'm guessing if you just turn it on, it's going to go ahead and do it.
Huh.
I don't know. There's no switch over, so that's definitely something I'll be looking at for the review to kind of give everyone a heads up on that.
Have it on and boot into it or something.
Maybe. From what I understand, it does use the dual motion controllers as well, so that'll be really interesting. I want to see how they handle movement. The game feels very made for VR. I was telling you that a little bit, John.
Yeah.
When you go in there, it just, the way the controls work, you have to really look down and around at everything. You're holding this little like almost Palm Pilot thing in your left hand, and to view it, without the VR headset on, you have to manually move your joystick up, or for me, I was actually inverted to look down at it.
Right.
So then you can't see what's in front of you. You can't like lift your arm up to look at the PDA. So it's definitely made with VR in mind.
Yeah, I could see
With
where
that
that'd be
being
kind of
said,
clunky.
Yeah, it is. The controls are clunky. You have to craft things in the game, and there's no tutorial to tell you how to craft it. It was just like your objective, craft this, and I was like,
How do I
all
do
right,
this?
I have one thing in my hand. I can't hold anything else in my hand. PDA in this hand, so I'm like, what do I do? They're both in my inventory. You couldn't combine them in the inventory. It's not Resident Evil. And eventually, I was just like, well, I guess I'm going to throw this thing on the ground.
Yeah.
So I threw one of them on the ground, equipped the other one, and then it let me have another action when I was looking at the first item that I threw on the ground. So I crafted on the ground, and then I put it back in my inventory. So that's what you have to do. There's a lot of weird inventory management. And
I will set this over here while I work on this, and then I will pick this back up.
It's super weird. You run out of inventory in this game like nobody's business.
Yeah.
You're constantly in threat of dehydration, hunger, hypothermia, and getting too hot. So you have to manage all that stuff.
Sounds
and
like
just
No Man's Sky.
Yes, but more annoying than No Man's Sky. You have resources. You have resources available everywhere in No Man's Sky, and that's not a detriment to this game. I'm not passing judgment on it yet. I haven't put enough time into it. But just in the first area of the game, with their lack of like direction, which I'm sure that's what it was going for, but it just made it a very steep learning curve in the beginning. Because you really have to go out and search things like, oh man, I'm out of water. Well, I have this canteen. Oh, I found some dripping water in a cave. I wonder if yes, I can fill up my canteen with this water. So you have to kind of remember where you throw things because you need to carry stuff for later in the game to craft something or bust into a can so you can finally eat something. And, they don't give you too many hints in this game. You have like an objective marker, and it's like find a way to get here. All right. I've been looking for like 3 hours. Can you give me anything?
I don't want a game to hold my hand necessarily.
No,
but
absolutely.
At first, I want you to give me a little direction so I can.
I literally it felt like I was being thrown into a later level of a game.
See, that's weird.
Where I was already expected to know the mechanics. But once I learned the mechanics, it's been not smooth sailing, but starting to get some enjoyment out of it, which is always, that's the point of game.
Well, yeah, but you wonder how many people will stick with it. That's what
right.
People's, and it sounds terrible when I say this, but people's attention span always, they want instant gratification. So if it doesn't,
it's true, and there's a lot of people that just don't have the time to put into a game like this. Mm-hmm. So make sure you do your research beforehand. Besides that, the art style of everything is really cool. The environments are really great. I'm actually looking forward to seeing how it looks in VR. It's made with the Unreal Engine 4.
Okay.
But nothing like spectacular. Like the water effects aren't mind blowing or anything. Yeah. But everything just has a nice look to it. The art style is really, really good. It's believable. It feels like I'm on a distant world, more so than in No Man's Sky. But it's not procedurally generated, so it did have a artistic vision in there.
Yeah, well, and sometimes that's a good thing. I'm not going to go on my No Man's Sky rant. I'm just not. I really wanted that game to be what they promised, and it may be.
And I haven't played it since the patch or anything. But
yeah, and I haven't.
They patched it at least twice before the big patch that got a bunch of attention. A couple months ago.
Yeah,
I would have given it another shot, but I wasn't about to pay another $35 for the game.
Well, I still have my.
I still own it on PC, yo.
Oh no, I sold mine back a long time ago.
I bought
didn't play it.
Well, I bought the collector's edition, so it's like, I'm not going to get rid of it unless somebody personally wants to buy it, because I'll never get, take it to GameStop and trade it in. I'll never get collector's edition value out of it. So.
Probably won't even get $10.
Well, probably not. But but I keep seeing the update. I saw all the updates when I turned my PlayStation 4 on, which hasn't been very much.
The funny thing is, it did increase demand when that update came out.
I bet
a lot of people came in looking for it, but ever since then, haven't really heard anything about it.
Yeah, well. It happens.
I got my fill of it when it came out. I enjoyed what I played of it.
Well, I did too.
It wasn't quite what they promised.
I put close to 20 hours into it. So
yeah, I put at least that into it, and I was just like, I don't feel like going back, even if they have added a bunch, because there's all sorts of other things I've already got on my list of I have to play this game.
Yeah. There's too much to play. So, I took Nathaniel's advice the last show, and I bought Golf Story. Oh my gosh!
I would have bought this, but I really want to finish Hot
The
Shots.
very next day,
that's just golf.
Yeah,
it's
really.
Not cool.
The
Spend the $15.
Yeah, really.
Golf Story's
This is probably one of the best games on the Switch. It is absolutely fantastic. And if you just look at it when it came out and nobody had said anything about it or nobody knew anything about it, and you're just looking at it, you'd be like, it's a golf game with some RPG. It's okay. But man, no, it's more than that. It is really, really good. The only thing that tore me away from it was Stardew Valley. That's the only thing that shifted my attention away from it. Because when Stardew Valley first came out, I just kind of did whatever. And I really wasn't making a lot of money. I made it all the way to fall. And I was like, man, I really haven't unlocked this. I haven't done that. I haven't done it. I didn't make a lot of cash in the seasons. Let me start over again. So last week, I was kind of laid up with my back, and I started over Saturday morning at noon. That's when the football game started to come on. So I sat there in handheld mode, watched football, and played Stardew Valley from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. with some breaks. And then went to bed and lay down in bed and played it till...
Breaks to charge it, right?
Yeah, yeah, I got to go get the charger. I got to go eat. I got to take the dogs out. I got to do this. And then I went back, at midnight I went to bed and laid in bed till 3 o'clock in the morning playing it in handheld mode. So I went from, let's see, in that time period I did spring, summer, and started fall. Sunday I watched football and did fall into winter, and I had already made $250,000 gold doing it the other way. I figured out.
Are you doing the community center?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As you go.
Yeah.
Kind of one of the main kind of do these different things mechanics.
Well,
get you to try different
is it
stuff. So
is it similar? Is it similar to Animal Crossing?
No.
In style?
It's Harvest Moon.
It's more Harvest Moon than it is anything like that. I mean, it does have...
I know you were a big fan of Animal Crossing as well as I am.
Well, you do have the friendships that you make, like in Animal Crossing, and you can give people gifts. But that's Harvest Moon, too, yeah. But there's the farming aspect to it that wasn't ever in Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing was more gathering than it was really, anything.
Yeah.
But... yeah, this thing, I just finished...
You can mine, you can farm...
Mm-hmm.
Talk to all the people. There's all sorts of fun little hidden secrets to find. Stardew Valley's awesome.
So in 2 days, I did more than I did in 3 days just playing it blindly. I went back and said, okay, I'm going to find out what the most expensive thing is to grow to the 13th, and then when the festival comes around, I'm going to go get the strawberries, and I spent all my money. And then when the strawberries came, I spent all my money. And then, but the return was bigger and bigger and bigger until cranberry season rolled around, which I think was in summer, and that was when the money rolled in. I mean, I was like, yeah.
What kind of tools do you have then?
Well, let's see. All I did was mine and clear off some of the farm and stuff like that. And now I have
animals yet.
I got a little chicken coop with 4 little chickens.
The first winter you can be like, yeah, I'll just mine, but as soon as you get animals, that takes up some time too, because they're inside and you have to go and feed them all the hay and stuff until you can afford better feeders.
Well, I built 2 silos, and then when the last day of spring or the last day of fall, I went around and harvested all the grass, and then filled up both silos, which I only had 4 chickens, but I was like, you know what, I want to make sure I have enough hay. So
way plenty for just chickens.
Well, I think I'm going to build, now that I'm hovering around 150,000 gold, I think I'm going to build a barn and get some cattle or something. You can
build a barn, you can get cows in there and goats and other stuff too, but there's also the breeding. So with chicken coop, you can get an incubator and put eggs in there and get more chickens, and there's all sorts of mechanics just around the animals too.
Yeah, I've been making mayonnaise like nobody's business.
Yeah, because you can sell it for more.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like every morning I get up, go get the eggs, make mayonnaise while I'm going off doing something else, but I've got a gold axe. No. I have a gold pickaxe and a gold axe. I got the first upgrade on the water bucket. I need to work on it next.
Oh man, the watering bucket things are so helpful.
Yeah, when I realized that when I upgraded it the first time, I didn't realize if I held it down, it did 3 spots instead of just one. And I'm like, ooh, well, this is kind of nice.
And the next upgrade is a 3x3.
Oh, see, yeah, and that's why I need to do the next upgrade. But yeah, so it's like, but that's what I figured out with it, how to make the most money is to get the renewable thing, because like you plant like blueberries, and yeah, it takes 12 days to harvest, but then it's 7 days every day, or every 7 days you get another crop of it, and then you fertilize it, and then you can get double sometimes, and it's just, I love it.
Yeah, every season has at least one renewable crop, and there's some that have more.
Yeah, winter wasn't too bad because, like I said, I've been trying to go down in the levels in the mine, but then it was like, well, you know what? I've got enough money, I can go buy gold and do it myself. I don't have, but I mean, I'll eventually go down there all the way. But it was like, I want this gold pickaxe. I want this and this.
Yeah,
and this,
mines go to like 100, is it?
Something like that. Yeah, and I'm only like level 17.
But there's another area that has a sort of mines thing that I think is just infinite.
Ugh.
And it has better stuff in it.
I'm sure. Yeah. So yeah, I built the bridge in the first part of the community center. I built a bigger house. When I hit the 175K mark, it was time to put a new level on my house. It was, but yeah, it's so good, and I can just sit there on the weekends and just watching football and just playing that. Oh my gosh, it's.
Are you watching the TV every morning when you're in Stardew?
Yep. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I didn't do it at one time all winter long. I didn't even look at that stupid TV. I don't know why. I did it every other season but winter. I know.
Because you'll get all sorts of recipes and stuff, and it tells you the fortune on there, so you can tell whether it'll be, and weather, so you can tell whether it'll be raining the next day, so you can plan around that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's good fortune, I'll go fishing because I'm more likely to catch the good fish.
Yeah, but I think I've almost maxed out farming already, and I just hit year 2 today. Using that high yield crop was the smartest thing. If I'd have done that the first time.
Sprinklers are really good as well for farming because you don't have to water yourself, so it saves a bunch of time.
Yeah, I need to eventually get to the point where I can do that. I've got the things. I've got the things for the sprinklers right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Just craft a bunch of them.
Yeah, I need to do that. So it'll save some time. I never even built a well because it's like I got that little lake right next to the house. It's like, what do I need a well for?
Yeah.
I can just dip my thing in there and go. So, but yeah, it's an awesome game. Oh my gosh, I've played so much Switch. I haven't even turned on Destiny in a week. I mean, 2 weeks. I haven't even turned on Destiny. I think I turned it on the other day when Zur came to town, went down and picked up my free weapons, or the weapons in it, and then I turned it off and went back upstairs and played Stardew. But
shoot things, but no, I have to harvest crops.
Nope, I got crops to harvest. It's wintertime. I got rocks to break, trees to chop down. I got all these things on the trees to get maple syrup out. And I'm making a whole little maple syrup tree, or maple trees over here, so I can just do syrup all the time. And I'm getting going
get
on
different
that.
Stuff from the different kinds of trees too.
Yeah, I have some on the pine and on the maple too, or
the 3 different kinds.
There's 3, yeah. It's like stuff. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. The other game I played is Wolverblade for the Switch. It just came out Thursday. It's a beat 'em up set in Britannia.
Like Vikings and
it's Vikings. Right? It's like it's almost like Braveheart. It's Scottish.
Okay, so more Celtic.
It's more Celtic than Viking, but you're fighting the English and stuff like that, and it's all historically. The characters are supposed to be historically legend from then, and there's a whole story, and there's all kinds of history stuff that you can.
I guess, but it's not exactly a historical looking game.
It's not a historical.
Looking
but you know what? It's really cool. The graphics are really well done. The music is awesome. The gameplay is super cool. If you like Castle Crashers or if you like the gameplay of Castle Crashers with the art style of, was that Almost Heroes that came out on the Switch? I think that's what
No
that
More
was called.
Heroes?
No More Heroes or something like that. I can't remember what the name of it is. I have it over there I haven't played it in a long time. But it's got that cartoony vibe to it, but it's like really bloody. You can cut guys' heads off and then pick their heads off and pick them up and then throw them at other people and do damage, or their arms, or, and it does these cool slow motions. It's very bloody, of course, but it's a really, really cool game, and I think it's like $15 or $20. I mean, it's not very much, but if you like beat 'em ups, and it's two-player, you can two-player at the same time, not online, but couch co-op.
The last month or so has had a bunch of $15 to $20 games coming out on Switch that are pretty good.
Yeah, I've been real impressed with what's been coming out on
Really
the
want to
Switch
get
already.
Axiom Verge on the Switch.
Yeah, I want to too. I think I'm going to try to get the physical version of it when it comes out. I just got what's the shoot 'em up that was on the Vita. It just came out on the Switch. The something EX. I can't remember the name of it now.
I have no idea.
I finally got the physical version of it. It's been on back order. I had it pre-ordered on Amazon for like $20, and I finally got it. Cinemoria EX, or however you say that.
Oh yeah, I never knew how to pronounce that.
I'm not real sure if I'm even pronouncing it correct.
Signmora,
Sinmora, I don't know, but it's a pretty cool shoot 'em up. But I wanted it on physical, even though I had it on Vita digital. But about a lot of.
Are the physical ones any more expensive?
Yeah, some of them are about $10 more expensive than the digital. This one was $29.99, but Amazon, for some reason, one day had it for $19.99. And that's when I pre-ordered it, and then it shot back up to $29.99. So, I paid digital price for it, even though it was physical. So, I just caught it at the right time or something. I don't know. It's weird. A lot of people did, and I think that's why it was on back order, because it didn't come out. I didn't get it till 2 weeks after it launched, because they were out of them. Like day one, it was like, we're sorry, this thing's out of stock, and we don't know when it'll be back in. So I'm guessing they sold a ton of them when it was like that because of the pricing error. So good on them. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Nothing but Nintendo Switch. I am very, very happy with my Switch. So Nathaniel, what have you been playing? What you been playing, Nathaniel?
I finished up Witcher 3 Blood and Wine since last time, and that has a really, really crazy ending.
Oh, really?
It escalates pretty quickly towards the end of the quest line, like the main quest line, where you're just like, oh, okay, I'm chasing this thing. Oh, holy crap, the whole city's getting attacked. It's on fire. What's going on?
Well, that escalated very quickly.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I'm thinking this is perhaps, if not the preferred story track that I did by the studio. I don't know, because it seems like guessing on what the other way would have been, because when you get to the end, there's kind of a decision where it's like, okay, you can do this thing and try to save this person, or you can do this other thing and try to do this other thing to save, a little different way with this other character. So you're just sort of splitting off into two different directions at the finale. And the way I went seemed really cool and imaginative. I'm like thinking of the other one. I'm like, that seems like that was the lesser one, but I'm sure they probably put just as much into it because it's CD Projekt Red, so they put as much detail in there as possible. But I ended up going into some like weird magical fairyland that's inside of an enchanted book.
Okay.
That has a bunch of like fairy tale characters in it, but like the weird Witcher kind of twist to it. So it's like the Three Little Pigs and some other stuff, just all in this little weird fantasy world that within the universe was like this court magician had made this book for the two princesses to play in when they were kids, and now someone's been sort of locked in there, and so you're trying to find your way back out of it. But it was really, really cool how you had to go and sort of interact with all these sort of fairy tale creatures that had been in there for like 20-30 years with nobody playing with them. And things had gone a little crazy. So you eventually get your way out. You climb up the beanstalk from Jack and the Beanstalk in the cloud, fight a giant, and then get out, and then get back into the real world again. But
weird.
And then more crazy stuff. They had fun putting this together just all throughout. You could tell from all the different details they put in that expansion. They're just like, yeah, we're just have as much fun as we possibly can before we're done with The Witcher forever.
Well, why not? I mean,
Yeah.
I have no problems with that. But yeah, it just
So,
sounded like it took a weird turn there.
yeah. So yeah, you sort of finish the game, and then it kind of puts you back in the open world. You can do any of the side quests that you have left that aren't tied into the story.
Yeah.
So I have a couple that I can do that involve playing Gwent. There was just so many different ones because you're gathering a new deck of Gwent in the expansion for a different faction. So there'd be 4 then. And I just didn't get all of them done before I was done with the story, so I might go back and do that at some point, but I don't know. Probably not. But
did you ever get any of the physical Gwent cards that you could buy?
No, I haven't. And I haven't played Gwent, the free-to-play game either.
I haven't either.
It's got like single-player story and all sorts of stuff in it, apparently.
Yeah, I need to. It kind of came out, and when it kind of came out, I was kind of like, oh, and then that was it. It was so I never really thought about even downloading it or anything. I should have though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't even know it had like single player in it until I've been watching all of the no-clip documentaries on The Witcher.
Yeah.
The past couple of weeks, they've got all 6 of them out now, and the last one was kind of like a bits and bobs episode, and part of it was talking about Gwent, and they had some B-roll of it from the game, from the standalone one. And it's got quests and single player stuff, like story things in it. I'm like, really? Cool. Maybe I'll have to play it sometime because Gwent is a lot of fun.
Yeah, so it is. Something else I need to have on a phone or a tablet or whatever to take my attention away.
I've been kind of mainlining Witcher stuff. I even started reading the Witcher books.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm in the middle of the second book of short stories, and then I still have the 5 different novels.
Is it pretty good?
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. It's got you could tell that for the games nailed the tone a lot.
Yeah.
As far as just the world building of it. So
where'd you get them at Amazon or?
Yeah, I just bought the paperbacks off Amazon.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if they were because they're translated, right? Because they weren't
they're
originally.
all translated into English. Yeah, they're all Polish and they're
okay. I didn't even know that they translated all.
But I think all of the main ones have been translated to English now. The last one was a few months ago, except for there's one more recent thing that was some other weird side short story thing. I think that hasn't been translated yet. But all of the main stuff has been done so far.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I have to check it out.
Several books to go, but it's quite a lot of fun.
I did not realize that those were out. I knew they had them in Polish, but I didn't know if they had them all translated or had a bunch of them translated or not. I never looked into it.
I think around Witcher 2 time, they might have had one of the books that was short stories translated to English, and between there and Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Excuse me, they got maybe a couple more, and then since Witcher 3 came out, they've been getting the rest of them, I think, just because they're seeing more of a popularity of like, oh, Witcher 3 was even bigger than Witcher 2 was. We can actually sell these books. Let's get them translated.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would if I'd have known they were out, I'd have bought them by now. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, they're all on there. I got them all. They're like, $7 or $8 a piece for the paperbacks. So I was like, screw it, I'll buy them all.
Well,
Even if I don't like it, I don't care. Whatever.
I want to support these guys.
Nice well, I mean, it doesn't go to the people who do the game.
Well, I know, but I mean,
it goes to the author, and the cover art's really nice, so they look good on a shelf. So
I'm going to look on Amazon while you're talking.
So yeah, I did that. I've played some more Golf Story. Have you gotten to the beach golf course yet?
Nope.
How far? How many courses have you been to?
I'm only on the second one. I'm only on the dinosaur one where everybody talks like Barney Rubble or whatever.
One?
Yeah, the caveman one.
That one's kind of a fun course. And then after that, you have sort of a cliff top course, and then the one after that is a beach course.
Yeah.
And all of the challenges around the beach are really fun. And then I got to the actual main course, and every hole is a bunch of little islands that you have to hit. So the wind is blowing decently on that course too when I was going through it. So if you just hit it just a little bit off, it'll blow it and it'll start rolling off into the water. You're like, it's terrible because you lose strokes for getting it in the water. If I hit it in the rough, who cares? I can hit it fine. But I started off, I got a hole-in-one on the first one, which is the first hole-in-one I've ever gotten in Golf Story. The best I've done before that was like birdies. and then the very next hole I got a bogey, and then I kind of got par for a few, and then I got an eagle on one of them, and another birdie or so. I ended up at -5, even though I had a few holes that I got over. So it was just like this really weird mix of doing really poorly on this hole and then doing really good on the next one. Because I just hit the button just a little bit off, so I would like hook the shot off and land in the water. And I'm like, well, crap, there goes that hole.
I was all in on Golf Story until Stardew came out, and then Stardew came out, and it was just like, I gotta go.
Stardew will steal your life. It is a time sink and a half, but it's so much fun because it doesn't feel like a time sink. You play it for like what thinks 5 minutes, and then you look at the clock. And, oh, that's been like 2 hours.
Well,
already.
and I bought the digital on PlayStation 4 when it came out, and then I wanted a physical version of it. GameStop had it on sale, so I bought it on Xbox just to have a physical collector's edition of it, just to have on the shelf. And I never played it because I was afraid to sit down here in the basement that I would never want to come upstairs. But now that it's on the Switch, I could just play it wherever I am. It's just like, okay, this is cool. And I mean, I wished I'd played it when I paid for it on PlayStation 4. It's like, I really should have played it on there. But it's like, no, I knew as soon as I booted it up and started out on it, I knew what kind of game it was going to be, and I knew what I was going to do. So it's like, nope. I can't spend my whole life in the basement playing this game. But I'll wait for it on Switch. I know it's coming on Switch. I'll wait. So
that's one I'm gonna buy it on Switch at some point, maybe closer to holidays when I want to have a more portable something to play. But for right now, like, not going to buy it because I know Mario's coming out in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
so.
Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem comes out next week, and next Friday's Fire Emblem, and then the week after that is Mario, and it's like, I want both those games, but
trying to clear out the backlog before I buy anything else.
My backlog's 30 years old. I'll never clear out that backlog.
Mine's not that bad.
Oh, mine's terrible.
I just got to focus in on doing it.
I got 600 just retro games from Xbox One down, and I haven't played all of them. So that's not even counting 360 and up. My backlog I always have a backlog. Backlog schmacklogs. I don't care.
It's more like total backlog or recent backlog that I actually might have a chance of catching up on.
Yeah, I might be able to catch up on Switch stuff. It's still kind of small. So...
Speaking of backlogs, my other 2 games kind of come from a backlog.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Of stuff that I've had for a while that I just hadn't played yet. I just hit my tooth weird. I wanted somewhat of a kind of spooky type game to play because October, so I started playing Until Dawn, which it's fun, except I know it's going to happen, so that's part of it, because I've seen a full Let's Play of it back when it came out, well before I had a PS4. But mostly it's also because it's very, it feels a little choppy at times with the frame rate, so it's making my eyes hurt.
I can see that.
Like, oh, okay, let's get past this cutscene, because this is not playing very smoothly. I mean, it's not terrible, but if you play a lot of stuff on PC where it's well over 60 all the time, and then you go to something that's barely keeping up to 30, you can see it for sure. So, but yeah, that game's really cool. I've not gotten too far into it.
Yeah,
I'm still kind of in the early parts.
I played a little bit of it. I liked what I played of it. I'm not a big fan of those. I mean, I'm a fan of that style game. Of the genre. I just wasn't, or the style of it. I just wasn't much into the story of it. You know what I mean? I'm not much into the horror. I love the story.
That's why I had to watch it as a Let's Play back when it came out, because I was like, oh, it'll just be like watching a slasher movie, except it ends up being a bit more than that.
Yeah.
As you get deeper into the story. It's pretty cool. So it's kind of fun. But I also, for whatever reason, was like, I want to do something that's not super involved after, finishing up Witcher 3. I don't want to start on RPG stuff again, so I'll push off Divinity Original Sin 2 for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I'm going to do Wolfenstein: The New Order, a game I've been meaning to play for quite a while.
It was a good game.
Yeah, so I ended up starting it Friday and then finished it just about an hour before the podcast tonight. So it was able to get through it fairly quickly. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. The ending, not so impactful when you know the second game's almost here.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like, oh, there's this downer ending. Is he going to survive? Which, you probably assume he is going to, but still, hey, the second game's coming out in, a couple weeks, and he's been in the trailers, so not much mystery there. other than I guess exactly what weird, goofy kind of video game reasons he's gonna have for being able to make it out.
Yeah, but it was still a cool game. I liked it. It's good to it's worth a playthrough. It really is.
Oh yeah, like it's really fun. It starts out, definitely fun with just kind of the shooter mechanics and like the fun just aspect of like heightened alternate history time period stuff.
Yeah.
Is where it starts, and then it just goes goofy crazy the further into the game that you get. I picked the beginning of the game where you have to choose who dies. I made sure I had no idea what the difference would be, but I ended up having the private live, so I got to pick Lux throughout the game.
I don't
and
remember.
It meant that I had the Jimi Hendrix guy in the base, which he was really cool.
Yeah,
so I was reading up on it afterwards. If you pick the other one, there's some different NPC that's in your base, and then you get to hotwire stuff for something.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's been so long since I played it. I don't even remember what I picked. I don't think I even have it installed on the PS4 anymore.
But yeah, you've got this guy named Jay that's supposed to be kind of Jimi Hendrix because he plays electric guitar in his room all the time. He's got like a mangled lower face, so he wears like a bandana mask in front of it all the time. But there's a couple times he drops acid in the game. And towards the end, like the Nazis just come in and they're like raiding the base, and he goes out in a blaze of glory playing the American national anthem, because I think you're Berlin is where your base is, just with like stacks and stacks of amplifiers behind him, just like blasting it. And it's just like, yeah, this game is kind of goofy and over the top and awesome all at the same time.
Yeah,
I did the little place in your base where you could fall asleep and go into Wolfenstein 3D.
Oh yeah, I did that a lot.
I don't know.
That's the best part.
I don't know if it does anything different because I played through the entire one level and then you wake up. I don't know if you can go back and you just do it again.
Yeah, you just do it again. Yeah, you just go back and you do it again.
So it's like,
because I think I did it 2 or 3 times.
I remember this music.
Yeah.
I wish it had the machine gun guys because they had the favorite death sound.
Yeah. Yeah, it was actually a good game. That was one of those games I was very surprised by when I actually played it.
Yeah, so I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get it in just under just right before the next one comes out."
Yeah.
I bought it like somewhere. I think I got it in the Steam sale in summer, so back in like June, July, whenever that was.
Yeah.
And then just hadn't gotten around to play because I was like, "Oh, I'll buy it and play it before the next one comes out." So I'm barely made that.
Well, that's what I end up doing usually with the Assassin's Creed games. Is I'll buy the new one, play it for a long time, then something else will come out, and won't finish it, and then all of a sudden, when they came out every year, it was like August rolled around, it was like, oh man, 2 months, and the new Assassin's Creed game comes out. I need to finish this, and then I would finish it about a week before the new Assassin's Creed game come out. I'd buy the new Assassin's Creed game, and then go, oh man, I'm so burned out on Assassin's Creed right now, I don't want to play. Then it would
with this
be a
one,
vicious cycle.
Thing.
Yeah,
all the way up through 3. I stopped at 4.
Yeah,
this with Wolfenstein, it's not quite the same where it's only 12-hour game.
Yeah,
so it's like, I'll do another 12 hours of this.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All this stupid, like, goofy. Oh, there's so many dumb moments in that game that are great.
Yeah, I mean, they are. You're right.
So many crazy mechs in there, too, for no good reason. It's like, let's throw another mech design. Sure. Why not?
Yeah, that game was good. All right, cool. Well, we have a few news stories to talk about. Not a whole lot. There wasn't anything. Well, I won't say anything major. There wasn't a ton. There was a little bit. One that I've found I thought was kind of interesting. Xbox head says cross-platform talks with Sony go nowhere. Apparently, Phil Spencer talks to Sony all the time. He says, quote, "We talk to Sony all the time. With Minecraft on the PlayStation, we have to be one of the biggest games on their platform in terms of sales and gameplay." So he's really wanting cross-platform play on certain games over all systems. Him and Xbox or Microsoft and Nintendo have kind of got together on this. And there's lots of games coming out that is cross-platform play on Switch and PlayStation 4, which is pretty pretty cool. It's pretty good for the consumer.
You mean Xbox?
Or
You mean
Xbox.
Xbox.
What did I say? PlayStation? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I meant Xbox. And I know a lot of people look at this as, well, Xbox and Nintendo are trying to gain ground on Sony, so they're just trying to horn in on. No, I don't think they're trying to horn
backwards.
in. I do
I
too.
see it as Sony saying, just ignoring it because they don't have to care. It's not that
I do too.
Microsoft and Nintendo are trying to horn in on it. They're just like, no, it'd be a cool thing, and we're the underdog, so we can talk about this because it's good PR.
Yeah.
But Sony's on top. They're selling bajillions of systems, making lots of money. They don't have to care about it.
Yeah, and
It's not going
It's
to
strange
hurt
that
them
they're just
to
not
find out.
saying anything.
yeah, they're just
Other than the thing they did a while back of it's for the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
they
it's-
they
you
need to
don't
have
wanna-
something.
Yeah, you don't want Microsoft people on your Sony platform. That's what it is. We all know that.
Yeah, and I think that's really what it is, and that's too bad. I'm not saying I want Destiny cross-platform or Call of Duty or something like that, but what's wrong with having Minecraft cross-platform? I mean, a game like that's not necessarily competitive. I mean, they do it with. I don't know. It just seems really weird to me that if a company like
That one
Rocket
actually
League.
seemed- yeah.
Would come to them and say, we're doing cross-platform on everybody else. Why can't we do it on this too, so everybody can play together,
Well,
regardless?
Minecraft would be harder than Rocket League
Yeah,
because that's directly connecting to friends on a friends list. It's not matchmaking.
no, that's true.
Matchmaking is easy peasy, as we know, because Fortnite accidentally turned it on for a little while.
Yeah, I
and it's
remember
like,
that.
Oh, yeah. Hey, by the way, guys, all we have to do is pretty much just hit a toggle switch and it will search and connect these people together.
Yeah, but
It
yeah,
could work. And, Rocket League, it could work because they do cross-platform between PC and PS4 from the start. And then when the Xbox came in, they still get in there with PC. They just don't go console to console.
Yeah,
Because we're just putting our foot in the sand like, no, we don't want this. That's pretty much the only reason.
yeah. It's just weird that Nintendo, who is so usually closed-minded about anything like that, they keep all their cards close to their chest about, we want this and this. They've become a little more open with things here. And I don't know if a lot of that has to do with the failure. Yeah, a little bit. They actually let Ubisoft make a game with Mario in it, and I don't know. It seems like a little attitude change over at Nintendo with some things, not everything, but some little things.
You think of that, then they've already done that in the past with stuff for like Sega.
Yeah, that's
When
true.
They put Sonic in Mario Olympic Games and stuff back when those first started. Now there's billions of them, so games with those two together.
Yeah,
because
I don't know, with
Sonic is more of a
Nintendo.
Nintendo platform now than Sega is. Almost like what you think of that first, just because of the recent games. It's like, oh yeah, Sonic Nintendo almost, just because of the way things went.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Robert?
It just with Nintendo, it sometimes feels like they're like, we don't want to deal with this, or we don't care about making that game, so please just you take care of it for us. That's basically what it feels like to me.
Well, and that's what Sega does. I mean, that was blatant with Bayonetta. It was like, they came, the company came to Sega and said, we want to make Bayonetta 2, here it is. And they're like, no, we don't have the money, we're not going to do it. And Nintendo went, we'll take a chance on it, why not? And now everybody's like, we want to play Bayonetta, but it's only on the Wii U. It's like, I don't know what to tell you guys, Sega
that is the
dropped the ball again.
Thing.
It is. And if I will be shocked if that does not come out on the Switch at some point.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, with everything else coming that used to be on the Wii U to the Switch, I don't see why that wouldn't be one that would come to the Switch.
But I also think that because of how many things that were on the Wii U that could be said, you could say that about for games that should come out on Switch too, they've got enough that they need to spread them out rather than just dumping everything
exactly.
All at once.
Yeah. I'm hoping Hive Jump comes out on the Switch. It finally came out on the Wii U a couple of weeks ago. I would like to see it come to the Switch.
Yeah, with them being just a tiny company, I think it's definitely, they made the right move of being, okay, this was a Kickstarter game. We're going to, keep it for all those people who backed it because they wanted it on Wii U. So we're not just going to just dump them by the wayside. We're going to be good by the people that helped us get where we're at, and then maybe they'll do a switch.
It's funny you say that. I got a friend of mine who actually backed the Hive Jump on the Kickstarter and did the Wii U version. Hasn't got his code yet for the Wii U version, and he got an email the day before yesterday from the Hive Jump guys that said they may not have codes for him till like November or December because they can't afford to buy any of them from Nintendo.
Wow,
that's weird. How does that even work?
I don't know, but he was pretty lit up that that it's been out a couple of weeks on the Wii U and anybody can buy it, but he's a backer and hasn't got a code yet because they didn't have any money to buy codes from Nintendo.
Knowing those guys, then,
I mean, it's kind of like what happened to Jeremy with Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that was a whole weird thing too.
That's weird though that you have to actually buy them from Nintendo at a rate that would be hard. But I don't know. Knowing how that studio's kind of put together, it's only very few people.
Yeah.
And knowing the guy who's the head of it, if there was any way he could possibly do it, he would.
Yeah.
So the reason,
and that's what I told him. Me and him were talking.
Just can't.
Yeah, and me and him were talking in a private message about it. We weren't talking about it out on Twitter.
Yeah.
He sent me a message because he was like, he was kind of upset, and I was like, well, why? And then I told him. Why. I asked him. It was like, so he just kind of put it all out there, and I was like, man, that kind of stinks.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's all because it's a tiny company, and you only have so much, money that you can throw around anywhere.
Yeah, very true. So IGN acquires a Humble Bundle. I haven't heard this, Nathaniel. I know you put this in the show notes.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, so
yeah, it did come out of nowhere. I just suddenly saw like these, headlines show up, like the one that I linked here in the show notes with some Polygon. Their like subtitle is like record scratching.
Yeah,
because it's just like suddenly IGN just bought Humble Bundle. There's no indication that Humble Bundle was for sale or anyone was looking to buy them or they were looking to be bought. As far as anybody would have thought, like, oh, Humble Bundle, they've done really, really well. They're pretty cool company. That's awesome. Yeah. But I doubt they're in trouble or anything. So I don't know. Maybe it's just IGN was like, hey, we want this cool thing. Let's see if they'll let us buy them. Who knows? They haven't really said what the situation is other than, hey, we own this.
Yeah, it's weird.
I did read something saying that they don't plan on changing the company at all, so it's going to continue to act as it has been.
We'll see.
Well, yeah.
That's the thing that happens a lot, and then, a year down the road, oh, by the way, we're going to make some changes.
Yeah, that's what worries me. But, I wonder if maybe, they had Nintendo come on for a Humble Bundle. They've had PlayStation come on for a Humble Bundle. I wonder if now that IGN is kind of behind it, if, maybe Microsoft would do a bundle or,
Well, I mean, I don't know what IGN gets them that they didn't have already because they've already had huge publisher ones like EA and there's been like I think Bethesda one at one point. There's been Square Enix ones. There's been PlayStation ones and all this sorts of different stuff. They've grown so much from where they started as far as having the store and having the different bundles of like ebooks and all this stuff. I don't know what IGN gets them.
It's maybe
IGN has to be very careful too, because they could run into an ethical dilemma here if they start, selling games that they're reviewing well.
But IGN used to have something like that for PC. They had a subscription service that sold PC games. I remember it. They shut it down a few years ago. I can't remember what it was called.
Hey,
Direct to something or something. Yeah. So, it's like
Direct to Drive or
Direct to Drive. Yeah, that sounds about right. But, it's like I don't know. It's a weird thing that I don't understand.
But I see what IGN gets out of this as far as like, hey, we've got this cool thing we've acquired. It's maybe some revenue stream or just maybe it's something we can hook into.
Yeah.
I don't see what Humble Bundle gets out of it. Like they were doing fine on their own as far as maybe behind the scenes it's like, oh crap, we barely can keep it running, month to month as we get all these things on. We need something that will give us a little bit more steady revenue that we don't have to worry as much. Maybe I don't know. It's just this really weird thing.
Well, who owns IGN? Isn't it like the CBS Corporation or Fox or some big?
No.
There's
isn't it Ziff Davis?
Ziff Davis. That's it. Yeah, maybe that's.
GameSpot is CBS Interactive.
That's right. I knew it was. I always get them all confused, but at any rate, maybe that had something to do with it. Just a big conglomerate came in and said, "Here's a box of money," and they went, "Thank you."
Yeah. I don't know. There had to be some reason for it because they've always been about the charity aspect of it,
Yeah.
not business aspect. They have all the business, but everything that you buy in a store or a bundle or the subscription service all goes to, like, most of it's a charity and then enough just to Humble Bundle to keep running.
Sashel in the chat says IGN gets to have a subsidiary that people can sponsor games on and then suddenly get lots of reviews on IGN.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
maybe
weird.
It's also this weird thing where at this point, Humble Bundle's been around long enough that they're trying to figure out where to go from here because they've already done bundles on most of the big items, like indies. They've done like 7 or 8 indie Humble Bundles, which is kind of where they started. Then they've had Humble Bundles on a bunch of the different big publishers. So a lot of the stuff that people might want has already been in bundles before.
Right.
So maybe they're doing this as insurance against the future or something. Like, hey, if they do this, then we can maybe get some more newer things in these bundles. I don't know.
Very weird.
Maybe we'll find out where they go in the future.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that for sure. BioWare's Mike Laylaw, the veteran writer, designer, and creative director known for his work on Mass Effect and Dragon's Age, announced that he is leaving the studio after 14 years.
Yeah, mostly Dragon Age.
Yeah, he did a lot of Dragon's Age, did a little work on Jade Empire, if anybody remembers that one.
Absolutely.
Very strange. Well, I don't want to say strange to see him go. So many people have left BioWare in the past 2 years anyway.
It doesn't really feel surprising to me. There's been a lot of shift going on with the veterans in the industry trying to go on sabbatical and find themselves, and then they come back with a new indie team that they've put together because they miss the indie environment and they want to have control over their own products again.
I hate to see him go because those are all things that he did that I really liked on for BioWare, Mass Effect, and all those games. So,
well, BioWare is a completely different company than 5 or 10 years ago. So I think that's also part of it. That some other people have left. It's not the same type of company. Maybe he's not, whatever they're working on now is not the type of thing he wants to work on. Or, hey, I've been doing this for 14 years. I want to try something new because I'm been doing this a long time. That's also probably part of it. Like with a lot of these that we've had in the last few years. People leaving places they've been for a long time because it's like, maybe I'm just needing to try something else before I end up, getting too old to try something else.
Well, and that's true too. 14 years is a long time to be anywhere, much less at a a software company where you're writing and directing and working on. I don't want to say the same projects over and over again, but Mass Effect has 4 games. Dragon Age has 3 or 4.
He was mostly on Dragon Age. He was like the big kind of creative force behind those. Not the only one, but one of the big ones.
It's going to be interesting what's going to happen with BioWare here with all,
Well, it's going to depend on what Anthem comes out and does really, really well and gets some of that, weird, Destiny money, as I would put it, because maybe they'll start doing more of that way rather than the sort of RPG company that we think of BioWare now. They're kind of going a different direction, maybe. Who knows?
We'll see. According to the Wall Street Journal, Nintendo appears to be interested in increasing the number of mature titles on the Switch. Doom and Wolfenstein, we were talking about coming out on it. This would not surprise me. I'm sure.
No, I imagine Nintendo's just trying to increase the amount of games that's on the Switch.
Yeah, well, and the other thing too is I don't know. I get a lot of surveys from Nintendo all the time. When I buy a game, they send me a survey a couple days later. Hey, what did you think of this game? Did you like it? Did you? And then so I'm sure they're getting information from all over. They know the the age group that has the console. So maybe it's a thing where they see that they have the 30 to 45 year olds or something like that, and they're more into your Call of Duties, your Dooms, your Wolfensteins, your more violent, mature games. I don't really go to the Switch or any Nintendo system for my mature games unless it's Bayonetta, because I couldn't get it anywhere else, like I said. But, you know.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like in the past, I would have thought of a few that were on there, but they were all kind of Nintendo exclusive type thing, like Eternal Darkness, something like that. But, yeah, I don't know. You do think of Nintendo as, you know, the kids system, or the system with more like family friendly.
Yeah, Nintendo's my
Nintendo
fun system.
does.
Nintendo is my fun system. You know, my games are super fun. If I want a super serious game, I go sit in my PlayStation and play Destiny, or you know, whatever other game, Uncharted or something like that.
Yeah, it's all tied into a lot of Nintendo systems are for Nintendo games mentality that a lot of people seem to have, true or not. So you see what Nintendo makes, and they make their certain type of games, but that doesn't mean that's the only type of thing that could do well on their system.
Right.
For me, it's just, when it comes down to it, I'd love to see more mature games. I'd love to see more games in general. Yeah. As long as those games are still giving me those unique experiences that I can't get on the other consoles. You know, even if I do prefer to play my Switch, I'm still more likely to get certain games on my PlayStation, just because it is a more powerful console. Why would I give myself a gimped version if it's not a game I'm going to take on the go, which I won't do very often?
Yeah, I mean, I play my Switch, 80% handheld, maybe 90, you know, in handheld or tabletop mode, because, you know, I can multitask with it. You know, we can watch our shows while I'm still catching up on games, or I can take it on a trip when I'm working out of town, or over at Mom's house, or wherever I want to take it, you know, which is nice. It's something I can't do with the PlayStation. I'm not confined to down here on this TV, which is really cool. But, you know, if Destiny was on the Switch, is as cool as much as I'd say, oh, I would love to have Destiny on the Switch. I don't know if I really would or not. It doesn't feel like a game that I would play in handheld mode. I would rather, you know, sit down here. I don't even do it with the Vita. I could go upstairs and play it, you know, what do they call it? Where you could stream games to crossplay or whatever, stream whatever they call it, where you can stream games. Remote play. Thank you. Jeez, that's how long it's been since I've done it. I can't even remember what they freaking call it. But, you know, and I don't even do that. You know, I've tried it several times and went, I'd still rather go sit down on the TV and do it. But, you know, I don't know. I enjoy my Switch. It's turned into my console of choice for what I want to play all the time. Whereas then the PS4 is like, oh, this cool game, you know, Destiny's out on PS4. I'll go play it for a little while. Oh, a new Uncharted's come out. Okay. Cuphead, that we'll talk about next, is on Xbox. I got to play that, you know, but I can only play it on PC, or actually I can't play it on Switch. But that's just because of the ease of access here in the house. When I'm sitting around spending time with the wife, I can still sit and play Switch, and, you know, we can talk and watch TV, and you know, it's more of a convenience thing. But what I wanted, you know, a lot of people have it as their only console. I don't know if I would want that. I still think I would prefer my PS4 for my, you know, my more interesting, more hardcore games, I guess is the word I'm trying to think of. But I say hardcore, but I played Zelda on there for 125 hours. That's pretty hardcore. Yeah. So.
It's made for the system, you know. It's not that twitchy, fast-paced game where you need to have the big detailed screen so you can determine what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, I can see them, you know, wanting some more mature games. Like I said, they have the analytics. They know the market that has this, you know, system and what they're playing at any time. And that's apparent because every time I buy something, like I said, they send me a survey going, what did you think of this game? Did you like this game? Is it a good game? And I don't know how they do that. I don't know if it's linked with my Nintendo Club or what. It's kind of weird. But anyway, there's always somebody spying on you. Last but not least, Cuphead sells 1 million copies. That's pretty good in 2 weeks. This is a game that I've been very, very excited about for a long time, which I haven't bought yet, but it's on my list to buy.
That art style, it looks so good.
It does.
Yeah, the Steam sale in November is probably when I'll end up picking it up.
Yeah.
There's just too many things between now and then, because like if I didn't have Mario in a couple weeks, I might have bought it now, or a few other games, because it's only $20 or something, I think.
Yeah, it's not real expensive. If I buy it, I'm probably gonna buy it on Xbox One.
Yeah. I want it just for the art style. Even if I'm terrible at the game, I don't care. I'll play it as much as I can, stand it. And like, all right, that's fun.
It looks like a fantastic game, and it's reviewed well, and I'm really glad that that it's sold well. For so long it kept getting delayed. We kept seeing it at every E3 for like 3 years, and it's like, when's it coming? When's it coming? When's it coming? And then it finally comes, and then to see it sell 2 million or 1 million in 2 weeks is pretty good, because a lot of games, when they keep getting delayed, a lot of people, they just go, I'm on to something else and I don't care. But with the art style and the fun of it, it's looks really cool.
I assume that's both platforms. It doesn't really say in this article.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't just 1 million on Xbox or 1 million on PC. I'm sure it's...
Yeah, Cuphead seems like the type of indie style thing that sells well on Steam.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those, was it Xbox? You buy it on Xbox, you get it on PC or something like that. It's one of those weird...
Yeah, but you get it through the Windows Store that nobody likes.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and who knows? Maybe, I don't know if Microsoft...
I think Microsoft's got some sort of deal going on.
I never really dug into it to see, but I mean, there's always a chance that, if it does real well, it could end up coming. Rocket League was the same way, and then it ended up coming out on everything, so eventually. So who knows?
I mean, I don't know how big the team that put Cuphead together is.
I don't either.
It's a resources thing. Like, we can put it out here and here, and that's it. And then if we feel like we can do ports later, then we will.
Yeah, probably so.
I think it's just a handful of people.
I'm sure it is. But anyway, it looks really cool, and I intend to pick it up at some point. Maybe pick it up at Christmas time. Usually somebody in the family buys me either a PlayStation or an Xbox gift card or something.
Because at Christmas time, you just want to feel angry. This game.
Yeah. But that's all the news I have. You guys have anything else before we kind of wind it out?
Yeah.
Humble
Bundle was the only one I was aware of.
Yeah. We're going to do an Extra Life stream November 4th. There'll be a web page, link to the web page in the show notes on the website when it goes up. I know Matt is the one who is organizing it all. He does the live streaming of the games. I know me, him, Jeremy, and a buddy of mine are going to play the Halo collection. We're going to 4-player it and stream it. I hope we don't have to do it for 24 hours. I hope some other people say, hey, I want to stream some stuff. So, I mean...
Hey, I'm tired, and we played this campaign for the 6th time now.
Yeah. Well, this is the Halo collection, so we're going to go 1 through 5, or 1 through 4, or whatever it is on there. So, I mean I'm sure that will fill 24 hours, but then
see how far you can get by the end.
Yeah. I don't know if I can do 24 hours anymore. I'm not as young as I used to be. So,
what? No.
Usually...
Fall asleep with your head on the trigger button.
That would probably be about right, because I kid you not, my buddy who I play with play Destiny with, he's the one that's going to come play with us, and me and him would play the first Destiny. He worked 12-hour shifts at a factory, and then he would come home and play. And if it was the end of his shift, and then he was going to have a couple days off, he'd come home and play until he fell asleep. And when I say fell asleep, I mean literally, he would fall asleep while we were playing. So he would be playing at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we would be doing something, and he'd be fine. And if he would stop, that's when he would just go, you just hear him on the other side going... And there would be times that I'm like, oh, he's out. All right, well, I'd try to wake him up. I'd be like, Shaw. He wouldn't wake up. So I'm just like, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I'd just log off and go to bed, And he said, yeah, I woke up about 5 o'clock in the morning, just all...
Oh, man, that's got to hurt your neck.
I can only imagine. So, yeah, that would be me probably about 15, 16 hours into a 24-hour stream. I'd just be like... So I'm hoping somebody else goes, hey, you know what, I'll stream a couple hours of this, or I'll stream a couple hours of that, so we could have a break. But I don't know. We haven't finalized everything, but, worst case scenario, we may not go full 24 hours, and we may do, 10 hours and then take a 2-hour break and then do, 11 hours or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But there is a link if you want to donate to help out the Extra Life children's charity. each of us have set up a different local hospital, children's hospital, that the money will go for. I did the one here in West Virginia. Matt's doing the one in Texas. I don't know where Jeremy's doing his at. I haven't asked him yet. So, but if you guys want to help out with that, if anybody wants to, we will be doing that. And it'll be a good time. It'll be entertaining. I can guarantee that. Probably about 10 hours into it, it's going to be entertaining. But yeah, so check that out. Like I said, it'll be in the show notes on the site as soon as the show goes live tomorrow on the feed. So, all right. Well, anything else? I don't have anything else. That's all I can think of. But all right.
We'll be back in a couple weeks.
Yep, back in a couple weeks then. All right. I stopped it and save it before I forget it. What is this in 130?